the Edelman Trust Index, which is the average percent trust across the four institutions, has soared to an all-time high, reaching trust territory for the first time since we began measuring the general population. Across the 11 markets we surveyed, 5 are now trusters, which means that 60% or more of the population trusts the four institutions. In January, 77% of those we surveyed will worry about losing a job due to automation, globalization, or workforce restructuring, let alone an economic downturn. Here we are, 6 months later, and 54% are now additionally concerned about job loss due to a pandemic and the added concern about not being able to find a new job for a very long time. 60% of those we surveyed look for brands to speak out publicly on systemic racism. And this is a significant number relative to what we had previously seen in terms of expectation around brands standing up for social issues. And it's even keener amongst communities of color, with 80% of the Black community expecting brands to stand up relative to racial injustice. There is this expectation in particular among 18 to 34-year-olds that a brand stand with me. And I think you've seen that in terms of both the good and the bad relative to the way brands are being called to the moment and celebrated for the positive work that they're doing, and called out if they're not stepping up in a way that is appropriate. We also wanted to see how employees were thinking about their employer at this particular moment. And they really see engagement in diversity programs as very important. Needless to say, community of colors see that dramatically more so than the general population, and an increasing statement relative to not working for an organization that fails to speak out publicly at this time. I think what's very different from this moment in particular is the recognition that talk is not enough for this moment. Brands must act to create change. And we see this played forward here in as much as there's a dramatic number, 60% of the general population look for brands to invest in addressing the root causes of racial inequality. It's not enough to issue a statement of caring. People want to see action plans associated with that. Brands must also act to educate and to influence. So what are the implications for brands given this reality? Well, brands that take a stand are far more likely to gain trust than lose it.